Hello my friend and welcome to my Surface Razib. I hope that you are well. It's time to start a new section and it will be about developer skills and editor setup. So now that you are familiar with the basic of JavaScript concept, it's time to take small break and take a look at some other skills that you also need to develop in order to become a great JavaScript developer or programmer. So in this section, you will learn, inshallah, how to actually learn to code, how to think as developer, how to debug your code in case you run into problems, and also how to set up a professional development environment on your own computer. So the first part of this video, I will show you how to setting up Prettier and also VS Code. Let's start. So we are gonna start this section by configuring the VS Code editor to fit our needs a little bit better, and so that we then make coding a lot easier in the rest of the course, inshallah. And once more, here on my computer, I already have the starter files for this section, and also you can find it in the GitHub. It's developer skills. So go ahead and get yours from the GitHub repository as well. Even though in this video, we are not yet gonna need them really, okay? In my VS Code, I have opened the developer skills folder, which is the folder for this section. And once again, we have an HTML file, which already has the script linked to it. And then, here is the script file, okay, which has basically nothing at this moment. And I will put here, to get started, is activating the strict mode. Because remember that from now, we should use a strict mode in all of the script, okay? And so, here, I left it here already, so we don't forget it. So, I will put it again. Remember, it's very, very important. But anyway, let's now start configuring VS Code, and we will start with a tool called Prettier. And Prettier is an optionated code formatter, which means that it makes assumption about how good code should look like. And so, if you install it and use it, then this will make sure that your code is nicely formatted and also that it will look exactly the same as my code looks in this video. Maybe it will be different, maybe, yeah, if you make some change, no problem. But at 90%, it will make your code as my code in this video. So that's gonna make it easier for you to take this course, and also, of course, for you to write your own code in the future. So this tool is available as a VS Code extension. So let's click in the extension button, okay? And then here, you will have to do is to search Prettier, like this. Okay, let's increase the tab. Good. And now it's gonna be this first one. Okay, Prettier code. Okay. And of course, already have it installed. I just need to enable it. So here I click to enable. For me, it's enabled again. So if it is installed, you don't have installed, click install here, and after this, click enable here. Okay. So I can show you this if you want. Hide it around. Sorry, enable again. Hide it. Where is it? Okay, there's the button enable, but I have done it before. But you will have to install it, and of course, maybe you need to probably reload your VS Code, maybe, yeah? So, install it on your end, and reload the browser, and then come back here. Also, sorry, reload your VS Code, sorry, not the browser. Okay? And so let's close the sidebar if you want, here again. So I don't need it. About extension. So the second step now is actually define Prettier as the default formatter of our code. So let's go to preference here, okay, and here go to setting, which would like something like this, okay, and then here in the search bar, let's search for default, okay, formatter. Here is it. Okay, here is it. And now, as you can see, I have all this formatter available. And you see, so here is a hug list of available formatter, but the one that we are looking for is this one. Prettier code formatter, or ESBAP Prettier VS Code. Okay, I have it. So now you should be good to go. Okay, choose it, and it's good. So we just need to make sure that the format on save setting is also correctly set. So I will just check it. It's very important. Format. Okay, on save, this one is checked. Good. We can continue now. And so with that, Prettier should now actually be working. Okay, so let's just declare a variable. I just close this one and this one. So I will declare down here a variable. It gives a couple of lines of space. Okay, so for example, cust x equal, for example, and now something like this. Okay, and I will do something like this, added some space. Good. And now if I save, do you see? The Prettier automatically did some change to our code. So first of all, it removed all these blank lines that we had here, and it also transformed this single code into double code of use strict. Okay. Finally, it also added an empty line of code here at the end. Okay. So this may seem like small change, but all of them added up through all the code can actually make a big difference. And again, Prettier is an opinionated code formatter. So opinionated means that they have a strong opinion, and then basically, when we use the tool, we have to accept that opinion. And many people don't like that, but actually I believe it's a good thing. It makes it so I don't have to take a decision on how the code should look like. For example, some people prefer to write the if-else statement without a space here, and other people like to have a space here. And let's just write something here. If okay, x equal 30 and console.log 30, something like this. Okay. And so now, no matter what we do, Prettier we take the formatting decision away from us. So if I save this now, you see that it automatically answers that space here. Okay, I will do it again like this. Okay, I will save. Do you see the space that has been inserted between the if and parentheses? Even I don't like it. So if I remove it and save it again, from this or from here, okay, it will be back. Alright, but this makes it easier to make your code consistent and to make your code also consistent with other people code, in this case, make code that you can see here in the video. And so if we both use this tool, our code will look the same. Now, there are some things that we can configure, and for example, one thing that I don't like is the double quote. Maybe you like double quote. I use one quote. So I prefer to use single quote, but right now, Prettier will transform every single quote to double quote. So if I added single quote here, okay, and now if I save, you will see now they turn to double quote. And something we can actually configure in Prettier. So let me show that to you. So just Google here Prettier, okay, like this, and it's probably, I think, the first link. Good. So here we can go to doc, and then probably click here, okay, in this menu. Okay, so here we can do, if I remember, option, yeah, option for configure Prettier. And probably the web page looks a bit different by the time you are watching the video, but just search for the option here. So let's take a look at some of the option. So what we can change, for example, what we can change, not this one, not tab with, code, no, not yet. What we can change here, maybe tab or space. What do you want? Yeah, if you want this one, maybe this one, tapes. Yeah, you have tape width also. We can change it. Okay, there are a lot of things here. As you can see, lot of. So let's take what we choose here. Let's search. I search for example. Remember semicolons or not? But what I'm interested here is quote, of course, quote. Let's do what quote. It's very what I want. So using this option, do you see this option? Single quote here. Here is it. We can tell Prettier to use single quote instead of double quote. And so that's what I want. Now, how do we actually configure Prettier? Well, there are multiple ways, but the easiest one is to create a configuration file in the current project folder. So let's go back to our VS Code. Then we create a new file, and this one should gonna be called .prettier. Okay, and then rc like this. Okay, it's very important, huh? So I will now here I will push enter. Good, I have created. And now here we basically write this object, and it's not really an object because this is not a JavaScript code, huh? And so now we write something like this. Oops. No, this one. So I open. Where is it? Yeah. And now I write this variable single quote. Okay, I can copy it. Oops. Something like this. Yeah, single quote. I can find it here. Single quote. And actually, VS Code already gives us this option here. It's really good. Okay, just hit enter. And by default, it's false. So actually, we get this preset value, but I actually want to change it to true. Okay, so simple. And now, if I save, okay, and also if I come back to JS file, and if I save, do you see? You see that it will automatically change my double quote back to single quote. Great. Now, Another thing that Prettier does by default is something in arrow function. So let me show you that as well. So what I do, const, okay, I'll create calc age function again, then equal birth year, okay, and then we want to return, sorry, birth year, and then we want to return 2021 minus the birth year, okay. So just like we have been using, but now watch what happens when we give it save. Look very well, huh? I don't save again. Look now. So you see that Prettier actually wrapped this single parameter here in parentheses. However, I actually don't like this because it's single parameter. So when there is just one parameter, I like to see it without the parentheses. And so that's another thing that we can configure here. Yeah, we can do it. And so that's one called, you can search it from here if you want. Search arrow function. Okay, arrow function. Here is that. Here is. You see arrow parents? So now I will use it. Comma. Let's do it. Arrow parents. Okay? And so now we can choose between always and also we have avoid. Sorry, avoid. Not well. It changed now. I think it changed. So let's just search in doc if you want. If we have, yeah, it's avoid. Yeah, it's same thing. It's not well. Sorry. So we can choose between always and avoid. And so I want avoid here. Okay. Good. And so you can take a look at this entire list here if you want from, as I said, from this doc. Okay. And then you can change your own configuration to match your preferred coding style. Okay. And probably by now, you don't have yet really a coding style, but it's good to know that you can change stuff that you don't like or that you don't want to see. So for me, this is the two things that I always change and as necessary. I keep adding more stuff from time to time, but I start with this one. So let's close this Prettier file, don't need it. Okay. Now, if I save the JS code, again, JavaScript code, look now. Do you see the change now? It's reflected here. So, again, the parentheses here were gone. And remember that we enabled format on save. It's very important. And so that's why all this formatting take effect whenever we save a file. Alright. Now, if for some reason you cannot make this work, then don't worry, yeah? You can still progress in the course without having Prettier working, okay? That's because this tool does, of course, not influence how the code itself works. It is just a visual tool that only changes how the code looks. Anyway, this was already a big step on making coding a little bit easier for us. But now, I want to show you something else, which is to basically automate something very boring that we are doing all the time. What is this? And that is writing console.log. So whenever we want to log something, we have to write all of this console.log. Okay, all the time. And do all this work, but in VS Code, we can configure Snippet, which can take that works away from us. So let me show you how. So we go here into the menu preference. Okay. And then here we can define, as you can see, user snippet. Okay, so click on that. And then you can open one of these files, but the best thing to do is just to create a new global snippet file. So click that, and then just give it a name. It doesn't really matter, so put what you want. LO, I do it LO, something like this, no problem. Okay? Or I call it GSK. Okay. My favorite social club. Okay? Enter. Good. And so here we can define a couple of snippets. And remember that the snippet that we want to define is simply one that automatically writes console.log for us. And actually, there is already an example snippet down here, as you can see, which is basically does just that. So it is this here, okay? And so let's just uncomment all of this. Oops. You can do it with Ctrl+/. Huh? And so this here is the same of the name of the snippet. Then here we say that it works in JavaScript and in TypeScript. Do you see? In the scope. This is the command that will basically trigger the snippet. Okay? And here I like to use, for me, I like to use log. So whenever you write log in the code, it will then expand that the console to console log. Then here is the code that is actually written, okay? And here, get rid of this second value. Just keep the first one, something like this. Okay? Good. And then here also, let's get rid of this parameter, like this. Because I found that is the best way to make this work. Huh? And it is not really important that you understand how this works. This is just a recipe that I want you to follow here, just to make our live coding a little bit easier. So again, give it a save as I have do it. And once you head back to your script, and now if you write log, okay, but I have do it before, as you can see, but I have it here. I have 2 times, no problem. When you write log, and when you hit enter, what you get? Directly console.log. Huh? It's very, very easy. Do you see? So, of course, you can choose another prefix. I mean, I have choose log, no problem, but you can choose what you want. Okay? And then all you do is to go back and then rewrite whatever I want to log here. Okay, so from now, I will no longer manually type console.log. I will always just do this, so by typing log. Okay? Finally, another extension that I use all the time is, if I remember, is just give it save, is to do highlight. Oops, I just increase the space here. Is to do highlight, this one. Okay, so this allows me to highlight part of the text. Okay. So for example, I can do something like this in my code. For example, I can do bug. Okay, as you can see, it gives me a red highlight. Or I can do also fix me, for example. Do you see? So let me show you my setting. That I will show you how I do that. So go to the preference. So I'll close this one again. Always go to the preference and setting. Okay, and then we need to go. So maybe I will increase the Increase the thing, maybe, yeah, maybe. I will see. So where is it? Where is the icon? I am searching the icon. Yeah, this one. This one. Sorry. Open setting. Okay? And again, by the time you're watching this, this may have changed, maybe, yeah? Maybe. So click here. And as you can see, it opens the setting in JSON format. And so this shows all the settings that I have. And so here is how I define this colored text. Okay? You can copy, of course, the code. I can let you, of course, make pause of the video and copy the code that if you want. So here is the configuration for this to-do highlight. So you need to install the to highlight extension, of course, and then in your setting, you just write this kind of code to define different color text for different text. Okay? So a very useful one again. So I think that's enough for this video, I think. This one was not really about coding or anything. It is just to set up for the rest of the course, and also that you start getting a feel for a little bit of the tooling that we have in the JavaScript ecosystem. Good. And actually, in the next video, inshallah, we'll continue doing that. So, see you there. Take care of us. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Faisal Azib, please. And follow me on Instagram, teams.winners and Faisal.chico. And Telegram, Lean Practice and Share. Facebook, Lean Practice and Share page. I tell you goodbye. Wassalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.